Hey fellas, coming to you from Ulica Hormova in northeast Moscow. So a few things that I've really liked about Russia, the first one being the very visible legacy of the Soviet Union is everywhere, and it's amazing to see. You see it in the metro, there's busts of Lenin, you know, there's murals of Karl Marx, there's great big hammers and sickles everywhere, all that sort of thing. So you see that everywhere. That's really cool to see, to finally see it in the flesh, much like when I was in Berlin, sort of that kind of gushing feeling of like, oh my god, I can give form to something I've read about since forever. So that's really cool. The other stuff is, of course, the architecture is really amazing to see up close and in person. So I've been to the Kremlin a couple of times. I saw the Russian White House, you know, where Medvedev lives, but I've also got a story about that I'll have in a different video for you. And then we've got things like the Seven Sisters. You might have seen if you follow my Instagram. I was near the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So there are 7 of those buildings in that type throughout the city, built in Stalin's era, that kind of thing. And then even the more sort of prosaic examples, my friend Lera, she lives in a Stalinki, on a really nice area of town, and Stalinkis were flats built during Stalin's time, as the name suggests. And it's actually really nice when you go inside. Really spacious, not at all cramped, like they obviously keep the place very clean as well. So that's really cool to see as well. And the other thing, of course, is, funnily enough, the hospitality of the Russian people. So there is a little bit of truth to the idea of the standoffish kind of rude Russian stereotype that we all know. Now that's true of officialdom, certainly, and I was expecting that. And you do sometimes get that when you talk to people behind counters and things, but more often than not, you get people who are really friendly. And I think, you know, being standoffish and rude, that's kind of a disease of the modern age. Everyone's rude everywhere. But maybe they're a little bit ruder here when they don't know you. But the second they get to know you, they could not be friendlier people. For instance, I met a really lovely guy called Ilya on my second day here, and we got really drunk together, and he says to me, "Oh, you're my new brother, hey, how you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, hey, you're great, Ilya," all the rest. So that was really good. And yeah, you could not get friendlier people than the way people treat you here. They just have to get to know you a little bit first. Like for instance, I was in a kiosk, and a guy heard my accent, and he's like, "Oh, hey, what's your name? Where you from?" And like the second you tell them they're Australian, they're like, "Oh, hey," like, you know, it's like catnip, basically, anywhere you go. He says, "Hey, you're really cool to meet you, like, what's your name?" And I told him my name, and he says, "Oh, my name's Aziz, I'm from Tajikistan." And he was just selling me a rap, you know? So really, really friendly people, really, really great to finally put the people are great, finally great to see and put form to stuff I've read about since I was very small. And yeah, overall, it's been pretty good so far. The lessons are going really well. I feel like I'm improving every day in my Russian, although I still need to work on the grammar. But my main strength at the moment is still vocabulary, and I still stand by that as a language learning tool, vocabulary, to quote the inimitable Bald and Bankrupt. But yeah, that's just how Russia's been so far, and I'll let you know more when things turn up. And I've got a couple of things in the works for you, and they'll be coming out soon. So remember, stay dandy.